If you had 1 year to live, what would you do? That reality hit me many years ago, not me personally, but I was a member of an organization called Vistage. Vistage is basically a CEO mastermind group. You get together with anywhere from 12 to 15 other CEOs running companies the same size as yours, and you get together once a month and you basically help each other win. Share your pains, your struggles, your frustrations, where you're at with your business, things like that. You become very close because you're sharing the intimate details of your life. I became close with a whole bunch of the guys and the women, and I ended up leaving Vistage. I went to another mastermind group, and 6 months after I left the group, I got a call from one of my buddies that was in the group, and he said, "Hey Mike, could you come to my house? I'm inviting a bunch of the people from the group over at like 6 o'clock on a Thursday night." And I said, "Yeah, man, we're good friends," and I hadn't seen him in a while. I get to the house, I got there late, and he's sitting at his kitchen table, and there were 6 other people sitting around the table, and I was number 7. He didn't give any details as to what was going on. So we sit down at the table, shake hands, do some hugs, and my friend Kevin goes, "Hey guys, I just want to let you know I found out that I have ALS, I have Lou Gehrig's disease, and I have about a year to live. I've got a very aggressive form of Lou Gehrig's disease, and what I want to let you know is that I've started a new foundation. I've started a foundation called ALS1, and our goal is to find a cure for Lou Gehrig's disease within 4 years or less." And then he continued to go on and talk about his foundation. I said, "Kev, what did you just say?" He goes, "Oh yeah, sorry Mike, I got this news a couple months ago and I've really been diving into this business. Yeah, I've contracted Lou Gehrig's disease and they've given me 12 to 14 months to live." And I got up from the table and I walked into his kitchen. His wife Kathy was there, and I said, "Kath, what's up?" She said, "Yeah, Mike, we've gone to several specialists, and this is his reality right now." And he said for his last year of his life, he wants to create a foundation and align the greatest doctors and researchers in Boston around this one cause, because all of the investments and the funding and all that, it is fractured. Anybody that knows anything about ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, I know you're feeling me because it's a reality. This is a horrific disease, and there's only about 6,000 people a year that contract it. So the pharmaceutical companies and the medical industry aren't incentivized to go and try and find cures for this disease because there's not enough people. Over the course of the next several months, Kevin continued to decay. His body was failing him. His mind was sharp as hell, but his body was failing him. But he had built this business. He had built, in his last year of his life, had built this business. Every time I talk about this, it brings me to tears. My buddy lost his battle about 14 months after his diagnosis. And we sit here today, 8 years later, and this foundation is still solid. It's called ALS1. And the people that are running this organization, the people that are driving this, the research, the doctors that are from Boston, have all benefited from this guy's idea in his last year of his life. They've raised tens of millions of dollars for research. I remember the summer that he passed, and I went down to his house. I'm sitting out on his back deck. It's me and Kevin, his wife Kathy, and Kevin's nurse. He needed a full-time nurse at this point. We're sitting out on his back deck, and it is excruciatingly hot. Sun's beaming down on us, 95 degrees, and he's sitting in his wheelchair. He's got his oxygen mask on because he couldn't breathe on his own. He didn't know he only had 2 weeks left to live. But he's sitting there in his wheelchair, and he would take his mask off, and he would say, "Then Mike, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a golf tournament, charitable golf tournament, and what we're going to do is try and raise funds and get sponsors." Then he would put his mask back on, and he would take another deep breath, and he would then take the mask off and said, "And then Mike, we've just found out that there's this new gene pool, and the researchers at Boston Medical have come up with this new idea where they're going to start chasing this solution." And then he puts his mask back on, takes another deep breath, catches his breath for 20, 30 seconds, and then takes his mask and continues to share with me his vision, share with me the things that are going to happen in his foundation, share with me all the difference that he's going to make. He knew he wasn't going to live. He knew his time was short. But even in his final moments, 46 years old, he's sitting there putting this mask on his face, trying to get oxygen so he could continue to tell me about his vision as to where he's going to take his business. And he already had a successful $25 million company, but this was his new mission and his new passion. when I hear people ask that question, if you only had a year to live, what would you do? I don't know. I haven't really thought deeply about it, but I wanted to share this story of this guy who is in my thoughts and in my prayers, and especially his wife and his 3 boys. Every single morning, I think about him. He inspires me. He empowers me. The mental toughness that he had to build this charitable foundation called ALS One in the final year of his life. And here we are now 8 years later, and his legacy is strong as hell. When you think you're up against it and you think you're having a tough day, I want you to think about my buddy Kevin Gosnell and his foundation, ALS One. Interested in checking out als1.org, and please donate as much as you can possibly donate. It's a phenomenal organization. It changes lives. It changes the lives of the family members of the person that has ALS. He's just a true inspiration to me, and I wanted to share that story and wish you an amazing day.